Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to start this lesson off by giving all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Honors to all the brothers who are fervently pushing the word in sincerity and in faith. And Shalom to all the sincere believers. Now, this lesson is going to be based on, as you can see from this headline, this big March storm system that threatens the U.S. with tornadoes, blizzards, and wildfire risk. Just letting you know that hey, we are still very much in the last days, and the Lord is turning things up out here. So through the Spirit, I'm gonna read some of this article because it's a rather long article. I'm gonna give some precepts, and Lord's will, you're edified. Says a huge storm system crossing the U.S. threatens to unleash tornadoes Friday in the Mississippi Valley, blizzards in the northern plains, and dry, gusty conditions in Texas and Oklahoma that pose an extreme risk of wildfire. The National Weather Service predicted extreme weather across a vast swath of the U.S. with a population exceeding 100 million people. Powerful winds gusting up to 80 miles per hour were forecast from the Canadian line to the Rio Grande border with Mexico. Forecasters say the severe storm threat will continue into the weekend, with a moderate chance of tornadoes and damaging winds pushing farther south Saturday to areas including New Orleans and Birmingham, Alabama. Heavy rain could bring flash flooding to some parts of the East Coast on Sunday. Experts say it's not unusual to see such weather extremes in March, when emerging spring warmth and lingering winter cold create big temperature differences for storms to thrive. So if there's a time of the year where a storm like this can deliver these coast-to-coast impacts, we are in it, said Benjamin Reppert, a meteorologist at Penn State University. The tornadoes likely amid storm outbreak. Regional outbreak of storms was expected Friday, with some risk of thunderstorms extending from the Great Lakes to the Gulf Coast. Forecasters said tornadoes, damaging winds, and hail up to baseball size were likely, with the greatest risk in eastern Missouri, much of Illinois, and parts of Iowa, Kentucky, Tennessee, and Arkansas. The Weather Service's Storm Prediction Center said 17 million people faced an enhanced to moderate severe storm threat from Des Moines, Iowa, to Jackson, Mississippi. The tornado threat pushes farther south on Saturday into the Gulf Coast states, including New Orleans and other parts of eastern Louisiana and much of Mississippi and Alabama. Blizzards expected in northern plains. Forecasters warn that heavy snow, whipped by powerful winds, are likely to make travel treacherous in parts of the Rockies and northern plains. Blizzard conditions were also possible in the Dakotas. Winter storm warnings issued Thursday lingered into Friday morning in mountainous regions of Arizona and Utah, where more than a foot of snowfall was possible. Forecasters warned of poor visibility and icy road conditions, urging motorists to travel with extra food and water in case they became stranded. The winter blast continued after snowfall of up to 3 feet blanketed the Sierra Nevada earlier this week. Dry, gusty conditions bring extreme threat of wildfires. Warm, dry weather and sustained winds of up to 45 miles per hour, what the Weather Service called near historic conditions for sparking wildfires Friday to the southern plains and parts of the southwest. Wind gusts exceeding 80 miles per hour were possible. Forecasters shared a bit of advice during a special briefing. For those stuck on the roads, keep a firm grip on the steering wheel and watch for fallen trees, power lines, and other debris. They said the strong winds would be kicking up plenty of dust and that brownout conditions were possible. This is likely to be the worst dust storm so far this year, said Randall Hergert, a lead forecaster with the Weather Service in Albuquerque. Forecasters also warned about an extreme risk of fires in parts of northern Texas, much of Oklahoma, and southeast Kansas, a broader area where the fire threat was designated as critical stretched from eastern New Mexico into Texas and north to a portion of southern Iowa. The Weather Service said a potential for dry thunderstorms in parts of Kansas, Oklahoma, Missouri, and Arkansas carried the added risk of fires being started by lightning with minimal rainfall to stop them from spreading. Yeah, so it's just a non-stop. Tornadoes, blizzards, rain, lightning. Second Timothy 3:1. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. And when you look up the definition of perilous, it means full of danger or risk. And in that article, they just kept saying that there's a risk of blizzards, there's a risk of tornadoes, there's a risk of flooding, flash flooding. There's a risk of wildfires being sparked by lightning. Just a lot of risk and a lot of danger. And that's what these last days are going to be full of: danger and risk. In particular, for wicked people who don't have the hedge of protection of the Heavenly Father over them. Isaiah 29:6. Thou shalt be visited of the Lord Yahweh of hosts with thunder and with earthquake and great noise, with storm and tempest and the flame of devouring fire. And that's what the Lord is bringing: thunder, earthquakes, storms, lightning storms, thunderstorms, dust storms, snowstorms, torrential rainstorms, tornadoes, hurricanes, and wildfires. Isaiah 28:2. Behold, the Lord hath a mighty and strong one, which has a tempest of hail and a destroying storm, as a flood of mighty waters overflowing shall cast down to the earth with the hand. And that's right. The Heavenly Father, He's sending this judgment. He's destroying storms that can, knock over street signs and knock over trees and cause flooding, cause power outages. This is all the judgment of the Heavenly Father. This is all His mighty works. Psalms 11:6. Upon the wicked He shall rain snares, fire and brimstone, and an horrible tempest. This shall be the portion of their cup. And when you look up the definition of tempest, it means a violent windy storm, such as a hurricane or a tornado. And they were saying that in certain places there could be tornadoes. And we've seen the type of destruction that these tornadoes cause. And seeing as we are in the last days, it would come as no surprise to those of us of the hopeful elect if the Lord did decide to dish out some tornadoes and cause some death and destruction. Psalms 83:14. As the fire burneth a wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. Verse 15. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. And that's exactly what the Heavenly Father is doing. As He continues to intensify these storms and tempests, people become more afraid. Because there's nothing you can do when the Lord sends these torrential rains, the lightning, the thunder, the snow, the hail, the tornadoes, the hurricanes. There's nothing you can do. You can't stop it. The best thing you can do is try to get out of the way. That's about it. Because the judgment's coming. And the only way you're going to survive it is if the Heavenly Father wants you to. But there are a lot of wicked people that the Heavenly Father is angry with who are not going to survive these perilous times. And that's because everybody has to reap what they've sown. These people want to run around here being wicked, provoking the Heavenly Father unto wrath. Well, then they got to receive those sore strokes. And those of us of the hopeful elect, we got to stay rehearsing the righteous acts, watching, reading, praying, fasting, and Adawan Ratazah, the Lord continues to, just safely guide us and our loved ones through these perilous times. Because things are only going to get more perilous, more dangerous, more intense, more chaotic, more deadly. Because we're living in the last days. And everything that happens, all the destruction and chaos, is very much to be expected by those of us of the hopeful elect. It's these wicked people who are completely out of the loop who are going to be continuously caught off guard. Because the Lord ultimately is not dealing with them. So these people, they're not really paying attention to what's going on. So when things happen, these people, they don't see it coming. Proverbs 22:3, a prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. And majority of these people out here are simple. They don't watch the news, and even if they do, they don't take it seriously, And when I say the news, I'm talking about in regards to the weather forecast, They don't really take it seriously. They don't really prepare, And then when the storm or tempest is a lot worse than what they thought it was going to be, and, their home ends up getting destroyed or something like that, then they're crying about it. But it's like, if you would have been paying attention, you would have known that it was going to get that bad, or at least considered the fact that it could get that bad, so you would have, made some kind of preparations. But you can't expect a whole lot from simple-minded people. And ultimately, the Heavenly Father decides how people move. So if the Lord plans on bringing some heavy judgment to a certain area, and then He does not put the Spirit on certain people to prepare for it, then, if those people get hit, then that's just judgment upon them from the Lord. Because when these judgments happen, there are people who are affected, and then there are people who don't get affected. Or there are people who just are less affected by the judgment. There are some times where the Lord will send a tornado and people's homes will get absolutely demolished, just non-existent. And then other people, they might have slight damage. Maybe some pieces of debris hit the side of their home or something. But, it's repairable. So it's not that serious. And this is all up to the Heavenly Father. He decides how every event is going to play out. How much destruction there's going to be, if people are going to get wounded, if people are going to get killed. It's all in the hands of the Lord. That's why you're supposed to fear the Lord. Proverbs 19:23, the fear of the Lord Yahweh tendeth to life, and he that hath it shall abide satisfied. He shall not be visited with evil. Majority of these people don't fear the Lord, and you can see that through their actions, their continual wicked actions. These people, they don't fear the consequences of their wicked actions because we live in a society that promotes being wicked. You know, wickedness is promoted, it's condoned. You know, you get rewarded for being wicked in this society. So why would those people who are constantly engaging in wickedness stop doing it when there are benefits in this wicked world? Little do they know that the Heavenly Father is about to send his spirits of vengeance upon them to punish them for being wicked. Because like it says in Psalm 7 and 11, Yahweh judgeth the righteous, and Yahweh is angry with the wicked every day. So these wicked people, they are going to get punished for the wickedness that they're doing. And it's not going to be man that punishes them, it's going to be the Lord. And that's the one person or being, I should say, that they don't expect the judgments to come from. Because a lot of these people have been taught via Christianity that the Lord loves everybody. So, you know, he's just going to turn a blind eye to your wickedness. Or they'll say, oh, the Heavenly Father hates the sin but loves the sinner, and all that nonsense. You know, just trying to make excuses so that they can continue to be wicked. But all that's going to do is just get them put in the spirit world, because the Lord is not messing around with these people. Romans 2 and 11, for there is no respect of persons with Yahweh. And that's right. And we see that on a daily basis. Men, women, and children get wounded, get afflicted, get put in the spirit world every day. Homeless people, celebrities, politicians, nobody is exempt from receiving the judgment of the Lord. And that's going to become more and more clear as the days go by and these judgments increase, and more celebrities and politicians and, you know, people that to the simple minded would seem virtually untouchable. But nobody is untouchable to the Lord. He can get to anybody, anywhere, at any time, in any way. And we're going to see that more and more in these last days. But with that, I'm going to wrap it up here. In closing, I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash, the Wadi Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, for putting the spirit on me to do this lesson. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Honors to all the brothers who are still firmly pushing the word in sincerity and in faith, and shalom to all the sincere believers. Hope you stay strong, stay safe, stay fervent, stay circumspect, stay prayed up, and Ottawa Ratazah. Till next time, shalom.